Everybody phone turn off? Hillary, turn off your phone. Where are your phones?
I got my phone. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Makuk, bless up. Hi, Linda. Kenneth, blessings. Happy New Year, everyone. It's a long time coming for us to be, doing iGoat chat because internet issues as usual. Thanks to Flo and them friends. Um, Wayne, big up. Howard, what's going on? Mario, Maximilian, welcome everyone. Good to see familiar faces back in the place. Gary, bless up. Um, yeah, share the link. I think I try to share it to as many of those Facebook groups as possible. So if you guys don't see it in your respective group, please share it. Um, so we can actually have a nice little 2022 group. Okay. Um, how is everybody doing? Everybody's good. Give me a thumbs up if all is well. And if not everything is well with you, just tell us most things or whatever it is, and we definitely will send some positive vibes your way. Um, so tonight's show, the first show of the year, what I really want to get into is two things we want to deal with. One, I want to give you guys an idea of our projection for 2022 Cabo Ranch and see how our approach may influence you or help you in your operation. Um, the first week of the year, we spent actually between Christmas and the first week of the year, we spent going over data and records from 2021. Before I go any further, the last show of 2021, I told you guys that we're in the middle of kidding, November, December kidding, right? And we were at 89 kids at the time. We were trying to get at 100 kids for the calendar year. We fell short by 2. So in my head, we got to the 100. And now, so, I mean, I want to give the team at Cabo Ranch a round of applause because, it's something that we set out to achieve, and we 98% got there. So we'll just call that 100%. I mean, we're happy with that. And our mortality rate was very low. So I think, let me see if I can get the exact number of mothers for you guys. Um, the exact number of mothers that gave us the 98 kids, 47. 47 mothers gave us the 98 kids. So, anyways, back to 2022. Now, we spent between Christmas, first week of January, we spent our time analyzing all this data and records, and come up with a projection for 2022. What we're trying to achieve, big projects, small projects, benchmarks. So after we had numerous discussions and meetings, our theme for 2022 is milking and breeding systems. So it's a double entendre. What's the word? Double entendre mean we're gonna be milking our breeding systems, or we're gonna milk everything out of our systems. We're gonna be breeding systems, and we're gonna be milking these systems, and we're gonna be developing milking and breeding systems. If that make any sense. If it makes sense to you, give me a thumbs up. But that is the whole idea. 2022 is all about developing our systems for milking, our system or breeding systems, everything to do with getting our system working for that. And overall, it will better our business because breeding affects the milking and so forth, and it goes on and on and on. It's a full circle. We breed if we have kids in a tight window, say if we do a kidding period in like 3 weeks, then we can get all those mothers in that 3 weeks to the milking program faster, and then we can they recover as a group faster for breeding. So if we tighten up all those systems, everything will work better. I hope it makes sense to you, because in my head it does, you know. So Errol from Olava, big up. Tiana, I think I saw Tiana. Yes, Tiana is like, family. Like, I have to look out for Tiana when we come on, because just gotta show her enough love. She shows a lot of love. So 2022 is all about developing and getting our systems to be better. Breeding system, kidding system, milking system, and we're gonna be our record keeping, everything. And the objective is to keep track of every aspect of the operation, keep data so we can go back to them and make decisions. Now, with all that, the big thing is, how does it affect our bottom line? It surely will affect our bottom line in a positive way, because we can actually maximize the stock we have. We can be consistent with milk production. We can be consistent with having animals like people we sell kids to. We can be consistent with that. We're hoping that there's no gap where we don't have product, or our milk yield drops so low because we don't have enough females in the program. We definitely trying to tighten all that up, so we're consistent through the year and keep track of who's producing, who's not producing, and so forth. Right? So then let's start with the breeding, because we had a conversation at the end of 2021 about what we need to do to fix or to improve on our breeding capacity. So what I did, I went ahead, it was like number one on the list of things I need to get done between Christmas and January. And we actually got it done. We partitioned the back lounge and maintenance lounge, and now we have two designated breeding areas, controlled breeding areas for our females and the bucks. And as we speak, Samson has a group, Rico has a group. Samson is the boar buck, the big boar buck, and Rico is the big Nubian buck. So we have two groups down there that and they're gonna be there for 45 days with these bucks. So I think we have 23 with Rico and about 17 with Samson. Red team, red team and yellow team. So Samson kids have red tags, and Rico kids have yellow tags. So if you see me post pictures with a red mark on the mothers, red streak down their back, that means they're in Samson's group. They're part of Samson's breeding group. And if they got yellow streak on their back, they're with Rico. You know, them bucks living the life. So that's what the breeding group is now. Expanded breeding group is now a reality here at Cabo Ranch, and we're looking forward to the results. The next thing that will affect this whole thing now is the milking. How do we be consistent with the milk yield and maximize how many mothers we milk? So now, as I said, projection, we're projecting in our projection, we're figuring that we need to create another lounge opposite to the Wieners Lounge, which will house the milking mothers, and we'll have a cool little setup, milking parlor set up there, so we can milk the mothers in an efficient, fast way, which means that we will use less time, but we can have more mothers down there. And we have the majority of the goat house itself to house kidding mothers. So it's just minor changes in our system. And we have the ability in our infrastructure, minor changes in our infrastructure, and now we have the ability to increase production. So when you're thinking about your design or any, if you're gonna build a new goat house or a new facility, think about it where you can scale it with minor changes, or you can become more efficient with just minor changes. The back lounge, the maintenance lounge, it's just a fence down the middle, and it was already on the initial plans we had that that space was going to be divided. We just didn't know what we were going to use it for. Now, as time goes by and we figure out how our system works, now we know dividing that space, that's what it's for. Maximize our breeding. Now, just that space in the front opposite the Wieners Lounge was always going to be a space for something. We just didn't know what it was going to be for. Now it is going to be for milking mothers. And that's going to happen first quarter. Yes. Yeah, so I am tasked, this guy is tasked with making sure we have a lounge exactly like you see the Wieners Lounge. We're going to have one on the opposite side for the milking mothers. And this guy is tasked with making it happen. So I think this time I'm going to document it all. We're going to start get our YouTube thing back up. So this time we're going to document it all step by step, do videos, Don't care if the video is crappy, I'm still gonna share it. Yeah, so then now the that lounge is gonna be opposite the Winners Lounge. So if you're familiar with Cabo Ranch, which a lot of people should be, we're gonna when you enter the goat yard going into the goat house, on the left side is the Winners Lounge. So now the Milkers lounge or whatever Trudy decide to call it is gonna be on the right. And we're gonna have a similar, it's gonna just a mirror of the Winners Lounge, except it's gonna have some milking um, infrastructure built in for for us to milk the mothers. So that's part of our projection for the first quarter. And once we get that in place, now this is where the breeding and milking systems come in place. We have to be like on it, like we can't miss. And the first 3 months of this year will give us a good rehearsal of how efficient our systems are and how we can adjust them, fine tune them. I think we're in a good place. We have like a solid foundation that we're building from over the last 2 years. But 2022, we really want to ramp it up and maximize what we have and see how far we can push to see what we can get out of what we have, and at the same time making tough decisions on culling and and quick decisions on who we keep, who we sell. Yeah, I think I shake a lot, don't I? And when I'm comfortable, I shake. And Trudy's like, stop shaking. Yeah, so if you're with me on that, give me a thumbs up because it's weird that we think like 2021 was a good year, but when we analyze the data and the records, we're like, man, we can push this even further. We can tighten things up. As I told you guys last year, I want to do 6 kidding periods for 2022. I don't know if I'll get there, but I'm pushing for it because I think if we tighten the window, tighten how long it takes for these mothers to have these kids, then we have a more time for breeding. Um, yeah, Howard, I think I don't know if I would call the plan great, but it is our plan, and we'll find out how great it is once we go through it. One thing with us at Cover Ranch, we're not scared to try things and change it next week and then change it back. And yeah, we're willing to try everything, as long as it's in the vein of improving or figuring out what's right. We are willing to try it. We will be using all your kidding mothers in the milking program. Yes, we definitely will graduate mothers to the milking program. They will be assessed to see if they stay in it or not based on how much milk they're producing. Like some native mothers or mothers that, highly graded boar mothers that don't produce a lot of milk. If it's not worth it, then they won't stay in the program. They'll just go back to conditioning and breeding. Um, Cruz is in the house. Bless up, Cruz. Big respect, my youth. um, so that's the plan. That's the plan. Now, the big projection is 150 kids minimum for 2022. 150 kids minimum for 2022. And if y'all think we crazy, you better start telling us now because we're taking off. We're like knee deep into this plan. So if anybody, any one of our iGoat family members here think we're biting off more than we can chew, please tell us now. Please, please tell us right now, because we're knee deep into it, making all the plans we need to make, putting resources where we think it should go, doing expansions, you know, feed security, all these things we're putting in place because we're like, yo, we're going for it. So if you all think it's too much, then tell us right now. Well, because we are going hard. We're trying to get to a minimum 150 kids this year. Keep in mind that we don't have 100 mature mothers breeding this year yet, right? We don't. I got to look at the real number and see how many we actually can put into the breeding system. That's what I didn't look at. But we definitely gonna do it. See how many breeding mothers we have now. I should be able to tell. 1 second. Let me see if I can dig into my. I think it's 89. I think it's 89 for this year, if I'm not mistaken. Judy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Um, oh, Kenneth, like it's just a 50% increase. Okay, Kenneth, like don't blow up my thing, man. Um, um, so somebody asked how many. Yes, Howard. We I am pretty sure we have 89 mature mothers to breed this year, 2022.
Not mature.
Hmm? Hmm?
Not mature. All mothers.
Yeah, mothers that can be bred.
Okay.
Yeah, 89 mothers that can be bred. And I'm definitely trying to breed all 89. Like no joke. We're gonna even do cedar, CIDR on the ones that are stubborn. The ones that feel like we need to wait on them for 3 years or 2 years, 2.5 years, I'm gonna force their hands. And I'm gonna put cedar in them and get them going because I'm not waiting on them. This is not the system to be waiting on them to get to 2.5 years before they want to breed. That's not happening over here. So our objective is to push our production as to make it as efficient as possible. We're gonna at the end of 2022, our objective is to figure out which animal in this system is not worth being here. By the end of 2022, we should know who's not worth staying being on the farm because everybody is definitely getting a shot, whether they want to or not. They're getting a shot. You know what I mean? They're gonna be breeding, or we're gonna add CDR to them, cedar to them, CIDR. Cedar is that thing they use for AI to put them the mothers in heat. So the ones that are slow to breed and we don't see them go in heat, and it goes on and on. We're gonna put cedar in them, force them to go in heat, and put the box on them. And if that doesn't work, they get two shot of that, two shot to in that with that process. And if it doesn't work, they're out. We're not keeping animals around that ain't doing nothing. Um, yeah, so the objective is now maximize the breeding, maximize the milking potential, maximize kidding, how many kids we produce, 15 to 20% retention on females, and see how we can grow all aspects of the business and how we can grow as individuals on the on in the business on the farm. Like we have to, because trust me, this is gonna push us. It's gonna push our record keeping. It's gonna push our the ability for us to stay on top of everything. Because keep in mind, every 2 months for sure, where kids are gonna be coming on the ground. Every 2 months, our sales capability, everything is gonna be pushed. Because if we don't execute in one aspect, we end up with a bottleneck. If we don't get kids out of nursery into Wiener's Lounge in a timely manner, and if we don't get them out to the Wiener's Lounge into people's hands or to the maintenance lounge, we're gonna end up with a bottleneck. So all cylinders in the system has to be, running smoothly and efficiently, or else we're gonna end up with problems. And trust me, we're gonna be doing it. We may be beating up each other quite a bit, but it's part of the fun, ain't it? It's part of the fun. It's we will bring you guys along for the ride. Um,
You see the relevant right there?
who?
You see the relevant here?
Not yes, it is. I think I think both vet services, both feed company vets have CIDR. The price, I'm not sure what they sell it for. Last time I checked, for them to put it in was about $3,000. So, if if anybody wants to try it, I suggest use it in the summertime when it's harder for goats, for the animal to breed. I wouldn't use it in at this time when it's their high breeding season. Um, Terrence wants to know why not use luteries. We tried that and it wasn't as effective on goats as it is on cattle. So I can only go off what the man them locally are doing, telling us and what we've done on the farm based on their expertise. If somebody else has better results from it, let us know. Because I still have a whole bottle of it in that fridge. So if somebody have a better way of administering it, I'll try that tomorrow or maybe Monday. So TJ, if you know of a better way to administer it and make it work, hit me up and let's try it. Um, so is there demand for goats or goats product byproducts? Kenroy Charles. Um, Kenroy, are you local or where are you located? Give us a drop in the comments of where you are. Your question is very unique. That's why I'm asking, because yes, in our space, in our country, in the diaspora of Jamaica, goat meat is like always a high demand. And now there's a rising strong market for added value products, goat milk products like cheese, lotion, soap, and what?
He's in St. Lucia.
You're in St. Lucia? Hey, Karen, I don't know, dude. Like, Yeah, you better ask some Jamaicans if them like goat meat. But yeah, goat meat and goat milk products is on the rise. Goat meat is always there. Everybody love curry goat, roti, everything. The meat is we can supply the demand. So, but and the milk added value products from milk is on the rise. So it is a good market that you can develop. So let us know if it's not the same in Saint Lucia. Um, any other questions I'm missing, my producer? If you have any question before I move on, just drop a comment and let me know. So that is our objective: milking and breeding systems for 2022. We're gonna maximize everything when it comes to milking and breeding. We're even looking at how efficient we can milk the goats, how many animals we can milk at one time. We're in the market looking at even a milking machine. So if somebody have a great idea or have a milking machine that they think would be ideal, share with us because we're actually actively looking. We don't want the ones that just we don't want the one that just milk one goat or two goats. We want at least four or six. Do is to lessen the time we spend milking, and at the same time getting more milk. If that makes any sense, if we can use a machine that will take more milk out of the udder in less time, then it makes sense, right? And then just about anyone in the system on our staff can operate this machine and not just a strong-handed crews or whoever milk the animals. That's our goal is to have an efficient system, productive, efficient system. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Yeah, TJ, we've talked to them, so we're aware what they do, and that's Ruby Code. Um, so yeah, we have conversation with them, and Ruth shares what she knows with us. All right, so that is us for 2022. That is our projection. We're hoping that we can definitely meet these high bar that we set for ourselves. Um, doesn't matter if we fail at some of them, as long as we give it our best shot. And we're hoping that we can take you guys with us on the ride and share all the experience with you guys because you've been here pushing us forward and supporting us. And a lot of people here, Mr. McCook, TJ, Garth, Mario, Howard, all these people are here every week, every Saturday that we do iGoat chat, sharing with us. And so if you what I would love for people to do right now is give me a one line in the comments of what their projections are for their operation. Even if it's a little operation, if you have like 2 goats, 5 goats, what would you like to see from them this year? Do you want to double that, or do you just want to, have them as pets, or you want to have, 5 or 10 milking goats? Like, What you want to do? Give us your projection. Tell us how you plan to get there. You don't have to give us a detail. Just say, "Yo, my projection is, oh, I want to double my herd, or I want to really start making soup, or whatever it is from your goat operation." Just
What
say
breed
it.
of goats do you use?
Hmm?
What breed of goats do you use for your milking program?
Man, I wish we had like real milk herd, like Saanen or straight Nubians or whatever. We have hybrid animals, mixed up animals that we're milking. That's what we're working with. We don't have real dairy goats. We're gonna work our way to it, but we don't. So we're getting making the best of what we have. You know.
Yes, Miss McCook's goals.
There's Mr. McCook goals. 2021 was 48. 2022 goal is 80. Ramsdale 60. There you go. That's definitely doable. And I'll try to hold you to it. I'll keep asking you where you at. Um Anthony says we should look for a good Nubian stud. We do have a good Nubian stud.
Or they're looking for one.
Hmm?
They're looking for
Oh, they're looking. Oh,
one. Okay. Keep in touch.
keep in touch with us because Lika throws some nice bucks. So you may be lucky enough to get one. Mr. Farron says Rico is an amazing buck. He came and appraised the buck and said he was a nice buck, and he's not from the English line, he's from the milk line in the US. So we're hoping that these kids that are coming online from him this year are gonna prove that point that he's adding some milk. We're just gonna hold that comment there. I want a free and fair system for all. No arms hosting. With that said, let's talk about the the um the post that our good friend Terrence, that's Terrence comment there. So Terrence Johnson, a friend of Cover Ranch, who doesn't know? No, you know that Terrence supplied us with our first 7 goats. So he's always been a friend of Cover Ranch. He posted in the progressive, the progressive Facebook page, progressive small stock. And I'm gonna try to find the post so I don't misquote him. And we're gonna try to explore. This is what TJ said. There are sinister forces at work to control this industry. In time, I will reveal all that have come to learn over the past few months to the farmers so you can know who your friends truly are. Be careful of the hands you shake. It might be shitty. I will hold fire for now, but not for long. This could get messy. All right. So, we're iGoat chat. So right away, we're getting the links. People are texting, people are calling, asking, did you see this? What it's about? So we decide that we're gonna ask some questions. Be honest, at this stage of the development, there's nobody on record. Nobody is willing to be on record at this point. However, we've talked to several people that have some understanding of the situation, and they're willing to give us some information off the record. So that means I can't call anybody's names. I can't say where I get information from. I can only tell you what I've learned and speculations, right? So this is the post that TJ made apparently has to do with the importation of animals. So you guys remember Floyd Green, when he was the minister, he came on the show and he outlined his objectives, what he was trying to do, and it included importing animals. You guys remember Paul Sears came on and talked about the process that they're looking at to import animals and how they were going to have um, selected farms around the country that would participate to be able to get whether it's animals or embryos or semen, that whole thing. I'm sure everybody remember that. Anyways, there is a committee that is working on this project. And the committee is supposed to go through all the different aspects of this and come up with a plan. Dr. Watson is the head of this whole thing. Dr. Watson is the head of veterinarian services, right? He's the man. He's the man who makes a decision whether or not semen is coming in, embryo is coming in, animals coming in. For years, animals hasn't come into the country because Dr. Watson hasn't approved any importation of animals for valid reasons. He has to protect the livestock in Jamaica. You can't just bring animals in and then if disease come with those animals that we're not familiar with or animals can't handle, we'll get wiped out. So I fully understand his position. Mind you, it's 2022. And I've been saying this from we did our investigation and our applications. It's in 2020. We're like, yo, like it's 2020. We got the science to do the screening, but there was no movements until Floyd came in. Now there is movements. So what we've discovered from TJ's post, we've been digging and talking to people and people been calling us. What we've discovered is there is a sense of urgency to move this forward. There are different players involved. There's private entities involved. There's government partnership with private entities involved. This cannot happen solely by the government, and we knew this because Floyd told us that they're going to be partnering with the different stakeholders, whether feed companies or otherwise. Now, there is the committee, and then there's people who wants to work with the committee to make this happen, right? Our understanding is there is some form of disagreement on decisions when it comes to getting animals into the country. There is a disagreement. I can't go on record and tell you what it is, but I can tell you this much. From the post that TJ made, we had to dig because people are calling us saying, you're going to mention this, right? You're going to talk about this. You're going to get some information on this. I don't know why people think I have the power to just call up somebody and then tell me everything. But I tried my best over the last couple of days to see if anyone would come on record to talk about it. Nobody would come on record to talk about it. But it doesn't mean that they didn't tell me what was going on. So I will tell you what I understand. The speculation that I have is there's the committee doing their thing, And then there's a group of farmers that wants to get animals in on their own, do their own thing, and they thinking that as soon as the committee and the government say, yes, let's go, they'll be the first there with animals to bring in. The problem is they're moving faster than the committee is moving. And this is where things get sticky, because my understanding is, for some reason, this group of farmers was under the impression that what they were doing is on the up and up, and it would be 1, 2, 3 in the Jamaican term. Yo, 1, 2, 3, we must set up and it got through. Didn't work like that. Dr. Watson stopped it. Dr. Watson is going to continue have the committee work on the government importation, but Dr. Watson has put a hold on the group of farmers importation, whatever they're doing, until he finished the government side of things. Remember, there's two sides, the committee and the group of farmers. In everything, there is two sides to the story. And then there's the truth. Cabra Ranch has nothing to do with it. iGoat chat has nothing to do with it. I don't know the truth. All I know is what people can tell me through off the record conversations. I cannot come in front of you and tell you that this is exactly what's going on. I don't know that. I can tell you what I just told you is what I've learned, and I'm sharing it. I cannot tell you if it's factual as exactly what's happening. All I can tell you is what I got it from people who are close to the situation. There's a sense of urgency to move the importation of animals, move the needle in a positive direction. There's definitely a sense of urgency. However, with the sense of urgency is also the risk of things getting corrupt. And that is the fear. That is the fear that a lot of people have. That is the fear that the likes of King Curry been speaking about ever since this was announced. That's why people are calling and asking, what is TJ talking about? Because they already are suspicious of these things. Regular farmers, you ask them, they will tell you, oh yeah, they might bring animals in and I just certain man, I'm gonna get it and this and that. This thing just stay the same way, corrupt the same way. And that was where the cause. TJ putting a statement like that out there, have everybody thinking, here we go. What is it now? If TJ say it, I saw it go, because TJ is highly regarded. I don't know. I know this side. I've heard this side. The truth is somewhere down the middle. And I don't have that, because in order for us to get that, somebody will have to sit on the record. Somebody would have to come forth and say, I am a player in this, and this is what's going on. And if the other side, somebody on the other side disagree, they can come forth and say, what that person said is not exactly how it goes. This is how it goes. Outside of that, the truth to us will just be speculation. But I can tell you what I've just said. I got information from the left side, I got information from the right side, and the truth is somewhere down the middle. iGoat chat is here for anyone to come on. Open invitation for anyone to come here and tell us what's really going on, and is this of any, should this be an alarming situation, or it's just another, you know, regular negotiation dispute or whatever it is, nothing to see here. But you gotta remember, there's a history of animals coming to Jamaica and things go sideways. So everybody is looking and saying, are we gonna have a similar situation? Or this is gonna be a new era where animals come in, the government do what they want with their animals, but the system is set up where anybody can go buy their animals and import it, no problem. But if this happens, if this importation happens and it's the only time it happens for the next 15, 20 years, do you know what that means? That means that the animals that will come in will go into certain people's hands. And those are the only animals that would be traceable back to anywhere, Africa, or a registry. Remember what Mr. Bernard said on his video? He said there is no proven purebred or full-blood animals in Jamaica. Now, if this shipment of animals come in to Jamaica and it only happened one time because something goes sideways and Mr. Watson said, no, not anymore. Those animals will be the only proven traceable animals because they already discount everything else that's here. That's a problem. That is a major problem. So I, for one, would like this whole thing to move forward, get resolved amicably, so Cabra Ranch can apply for import permit and bring in some animals on our own. Mackie can do the same. Dr. Graham can do the same. Terrence can do the same. Mr. Henry can do the same. Mr. McCook can do the same. Everybody. You know what I mean? Me and Mr. McCook can come together and say, yo, we could pool the money and bring in some things from Canada. You know? Or me, Mr. McCook, Mr. Henry, everybody can say, oh, let's just do one big shipment and bring in the thing. I want it to move forward. I definitely want this to happen. We need it to happen. But if some man in the thing think they can just corrupt it and make sure that it don't happen again, that's a problem. And I know TJ would not put that statement in public if there wasn't a problem. My grandmother used to say, anyway, you see smoke, fire there. So I know the reason everybody's reaching out is because they think the Jamaicans think the same. He would not make that comment or make that post if there wasn't a problem. So we will wait to see if anybody will come on record to speak on this problem. The only man that's willing to say, yo, you can question my comment, question my post is Terrence. Terrence say, yo, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm pretty sure Terrence knew there would be some heat or some questions because everybody's gonna know what you're talking about now. But this is Jamaica. Ain't nothing staying secret as long as people have credit on them phone. Remember me tell you that. Okay? As long as people have credit on them phone and nothing nasty a secret, they just don't want to come on record. So we will wait. We will wait patiently to see if somebody will come on record on this. In the meantime, I'm hoping that this thing don't get derailed by other people's greed. I'm hoping that the people who are involved that has some moral compass will hold it so this thing don't get derailed by other people's selfish greed. Until then, iGoat Chat will be here waiting with our family of devout followers and people who share information. So we'll wait for somebody to come on record and let us know what's really going on. Because it's in all of us best interest if this thing happens, so we can just go apply for a permit, meet the requirements, and get our animals in. Think about it. Think about the great work people could do. Our milking program that we're so desperately trying to improve on. Think about if we could go find a farm in the US that's producing good goats with massive udders, well attached and giving us a lot of milk. And we go and buy like 10 of them and bring them in and just boost our milking program. Think about Peter McCook. We able to get some nice super buck that can change the game when it comes to meat to bone ratio in his meat production. He doesn't want to be a breeder. He just want to get two nice bucks that can put in some good meat to bone ratio in his system. Think about what the work Mackie has done with what's already here. Think about what he could do with superior genetics and traceable things that he can sell internationally. Think about what that would do for our industry. Think about what Damien Crawford could do if he could actually bring in some animals that will add real value to what he's doing. The man that has the capability to house 1,000 animals. If he could bring in 50, 100 of solid meat animals, think about what that could do for our sector. We could actually start to call it an industry. However, there are some people involved that just think about themselves. And I am definitely speculating here that the only reason TJ made that post is because there is a problem. One thing I know for sure is that his post was about importation of animals because the grapevine tell me. As I said, nothing will stay secret as long as them have credit on them phone. So I know the post was about the importation of animals. I know that for a fact. So we'll be here. We'll be here waiting for somebody to come on record. And if they don't come on record, then we're hoping that we get an announcement, say, yo, everything clear. Just go apply, put in your permit, your application to get to import animals, because everything's good. Outside of that, we're waiting for somebody to come and say, yo, this is what's going on. I don't know. Colin said maybe it's a good thing that TJ said something. Well, yeah, because we wouldn't be having this discussion if TJ didn't make that post. But we still need to know. I think we need to know. If you're gonna put it out there, then I'll give TJ the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, when you're ready to speak, he gave me his thing on as he said on the his post. When he's ready to speak, he will. So I'll hold him to that. He says, I will hold fire for now, but not for long. So I'll hold him to that statement. That's his words. I'll hold him to that statement. One thing I know, TJ has to at some point explain that post. He can't recoil and disappear after making that post and just think it should go away. He has to address it. Whether it comes out that his concerns were dealt with or they were not dealt with. Either way, he has to come forward and explain it. Any questions or any comments that you guys want me to expound on or delve into? Maximilian, big up yourself. And TJ's here, and I just realized I saw TJ's comment. The truth does not stand a chance against lie. That is factual. That is true. Doesn't matter how long it takes. So, with that said, we will keep track of this story and we'll keep you updated. And I'm going to do something that I never usually do. If I get some information that I think is worthy of sharing, I'll do a little video from the farm, me and Sarge and them maybe, and I'll post it on the iGoat chat page and say, yo, I just learned XYZ, whatever. And if somebody say, yo, yeah, you can quote me on that, I will do it. If that somebody say no, it's still off record, I won't. But for sure, I will share as much as I know. And I'll leave you guys with this. This is why this is so important. It's important because we cannot move forward in this sector or improve this sector with the same old, the same old, under the table movements, backdoor deals, whatever. Let's give everybody a fair shot, man. Let's give everybody a fair shot. That's just how I see it. Fight as hard as you want to get yours, but make sure that everybody else get a similar shot. I don't care who gets the shot first. You know what I mean? So if this group of farmers wants to be first to do it, go ahead, be the first to do it. But do it fairly. Do it in a transparent way. Don't have no problems. Don't try to circumvent the system. You know, if you're doing it fairly, then there wouldn't be a problem. Or if the other side of a problem is what you're doing, that means there is a problem somewhere. Get it resolved because we need this. All right, well, that's it. I'm going to call it a night. And thank you guys for rejoining us for 2022. We're going to make it a massive year in our own little thing because, you know, we have to speak within reason nonetheless. But for us, it will be massive what we're trying to do. And I wish everybody the same. You know, I have a group of people that I deal with consistently that we push each other, make fun of each other, and stuff like that in a positive way, and we keep pushing each other. You know, so I'm hoping that as a group, as a iGoat group, we can do that for each other and make sure that 2022 is a very productive one. Doesn't matter in whatever you define as productive for you. You know what I mean? What I do may not what you want to do. What Peter McCook is doing may not be what you want to do. And what TJ wants to do may not be the same thing. So just share with us what you regard as productive for you, and let's go at it. Let's get it done. Um, in all reasonableness, if the other group had moved ahead before the government protocols were fully final, then I would see the conflict. We will wait. Maximilian, we will wait for somebody to speak on the record. All right? That's all I got to say. We will wait patiently. One thing I'll tell you though, I won't let it just go away because this is important. Have a good night, folks, and we will talk again next week or maybe during the week, but we'll see. And thank you all for participating. Thanks, DJ, for being on here and being straightforward about your post. Respect that, and have a good one, folks. See you next week.